Welcome to quarterfinal 4 of this year's Royal Banking and Finance Challenge, brought to you by kind courtesy of EduFair, Ghana Foundation, and of course the Royal Bank, Real Banking, Real Difference.
The Royal Banking and Finance Challenge 2017 is supported by the Ghana Stock Exchange, SNIT, Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, Glycolife, Databank, Everpure, The Finder, TV Africa, GH1 TV, Joy News, Joy Prime and Adom TV, and proudly brought to you by the Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank, real banking, real difference.
There's a place in my heart that makes me feel that you're the one. It's a place I wanna be, 'cause satisfaction guaranteed. From strength to strength you help me grow, 'cause you're there for me. And teach me how to be independent, 'cause you care for me. It's you.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
Banking with transparency, commitment to integrity.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank, real banking, real difference.
From the beginning of time, we've had a natural instinct for growth, for progress, to reach for the skies. On the Ghana Alternate Stock Exchange, it is easier to take your business to the next level. Get listed and make long-term capital today. With less stringent requirements and support from the GAC Support Fund, you can take your business public and reap the endless benefits.
We have 4 schools competing for a chance to qualify for the semi-finals, and I'll start off with the school to my extreme left, Ghana Technology University College, represented by
Che Emmanuel.
Che Emmanuel and
Felicia
Opon. Next to University of Education, Winneba, represented by
Awusi Nyala Atipo.
Awusi Atipo. And
Samuel Anampansa.
Samuel. Okay, so Samuel is here with us as well. And we also have Wisconsin International, represented by
Ifoma Sylvia Egwoba.
Ifoma. I'll stick to Ifoma. And
Mark Kofi Anani.
Mark Kofi Anani. And UPSA finally represented by
Helena Ando.
Helena Ando and
Sebastian Anam.
of course, this is also a well gender balanced team as well. So we are happy that the schools recognize that. Now at this stage, let me introduce you to our consultants for this year's competition.
Mr. K.S. Yamwa. Mr. John Ecosmart. Mr. Francis Owusu Echampo. Mrs. Victoria Gifty Abedu.
At the end of each round, the scores will be announced to show the progress of each school. The quizmaster will indicate the time and marks allotted to each school, to each question, where required. The quizmaster will also indicate the time and the marks allotted to each bonus question. A round may involve one or more sections, and the instructions related to each section in a round will be given by the quizmaster. The quizmaster and the consultants reserve the right to award less than the maximum number of marks where they believe that the answer given by a contestant does not fully meet the requirements for correctitude. So if you are ready with me, I'll crave the indulgence of my consultants to begin with round 1. Let me go to Ghana Technology University. 2 of the following are matters that must be expressly included in the regulations of a company. Which are they? 2 of them. the registered place of the business and the company, the names of the general managers of the company, the nature of the business which the company is authorized to carry on, the list of the assets of the company, and the names of the first directors of the company. Which ones have to be included in the regulations of a company?
The nature of the business which the company is authorized to carry on, and then the names of the first directors of the company.
That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. University of Education, Winneba. Okay. 2 of the following are attributes of a private company. Identify them. 1, it permits the right to transfer its shares. It invites the public to take up shares in the company, restricts the right to transfer its shares, and limits the total number of its members, including debenture holders, to 50. 2 of them.
It is restrict the rights to transfer its shares, then limits the total number of members, including debenture holders, to 50.
That is correct. That is correct. Wisconsin. Is it true to say that before a bank opens an account for a corporate companies, it must first see an up-to-date copy of the company's regulations? Is it yes? Is it no? Is it partially true? Or is it sometimes true?
It's true.
It is true. It's yes. It is true. To you, UPSA, if a company fails to commence business within 1 year after its incorporation or suspends business for a whole year, what happens to it? The registrar of companies will send it a cautionary note. Nothing happens to the company still continues to be in existence, or the court will order the winding up of the company?
The court will order the winding up of the company.
That is correct. Let me start again with you, UPSC. Is it true to say that even though an incorporated private partnership acquires a corporate personality and can sue and be sued in its own name, yet each partner shall be liable without limitation for its debts and obligations of the firm? Is it yes, it is true, or it is not true, or it is partially true, or it is true but with some qualification?
Yes, it is true.
It is true. We're still on partnerships, Wisconsin. Now help me with this. What is the position if one partner only is left in the partnership? What is the position of the law? Does the partnership continue as before? Does the sole partner must give notice to the registrar of companies of the position and carry on with the business? Or is he obliged by law to admit another member or members within 6 months of his becoming a sole member, or otherwise wind up the partnership? Or he can ask for special dispensation from the registrar of companies to continue the partnership alone? Keywords. D. That is not correct. He is obliged by law to admit another member or members within 6 months. Sorry. Winneba. One of the following illustrates the advantage a debenture holder has over ordinary creditors as a company. 1, he is entitled to receive dividends from the company. 2, he qualifies to be appointed a director of the company. 3, he can appoint a director of the company. And 4, he is entitled to receive payment of his loan to the company plus interest first before ordinary or unsecured creditors of the company are paid.
D.
It's D, that is correct. He is entitled to receive payment of his loan to the company plus interest first before ordinary or unsecured creditors of the company are paid. Ghana Technology University. Over which 2 of the following assets would you advise a floating charge to be taken? A floating charge. Land, building, stocks, plant and machinery, and cash.
Stocks and cash.
Stocks and cash is correct. Stocks and cash is correct. Since we are so comfortable with these questions, let me add a few more. So I'll start with you, Ghana Technology University. I think we're enjoying ourselves. So, which section of the Companies Code 1963 Act 179 affords protection to minority interests in a company?
Section 218.
Section 218. Winneba, which two of the following are essential to the formation of a contract? 1, misrepresentation. 2, undue influence. 3, presence of consideration. 4, duress. 5, legality. And 6, mistake.
Presence of consideration and legality.
And legality, that is correct. Presence of consideration and legality. Let me come to you then, Wisconsin. Let's see what you can do. Examine the following statement. A third party cannot acquire rights under a void contract, but he may acquire rights under a voidable contract if he acted in good faith and gave value before the contract was avoided. Is it a true statement? Not a true statement? Partially true, or true but with some qualifications?
It is true.
It's a true statement. I'll allow. UPSA. What about this one? If you promise your friend that you will give him 100,000 Ghana cedis if he passes his driving test, and he does so, and you decide you don't want to pay, can he sue you for recovery of the money? Answer is no, yes, no, because there was no intention to create legal relations, or yes, because a promise is a promise and must be fulfilled at all costs, probably because it's an unwritten contract.
No, because there was no intention to create legal relations, and also there was lack of consideration.
Also, there was lack of consideration. That is correct. Let me do the last set of questions in this round. I'll start with you, UPSC. Let's see if you can get this one. All of you seem very good, so let's see how it ends. A bank mandate form admitting joint and several liability. A, allows what? The bank may, in the case of default, if you have a bank mandate form admitting joint and several liability, what is possible in the case of default? Can the bank may sue only one of the account holders, may sue all of them, may sue some of them, or may sue any of them, or a number of them, or all of them together until the whole amount is recovered.
So the bank may sue any of them, or a number of them, or all of them together until the whole amount is recovered.
Perfecto. Wisconsin. In a joint account operated by two persons, when one of them dies, the balance accrues to the benefit of the other. What is this known as?
The right of survivorship.
The right of survivorship. Thank you. University of Education. Is it wise to allow a minor's account to be operated in debit? A, yes. B, no. C, the law permits it. And D, no, because you will not be liable for the debt created on the account.
No, because you will not be liable for the debt created on the account.
Thank you very much. 5 points. Ghana Technology University College. Which body normally resolves disputes between an individual and the government, or an arm or agency of the government? High Court, Administrative Tribunal, or the traditional courts?
Administrative Tribunal.
It's an administrative tribunal. Thank you very much. That should bring us to the end of round 1.
Here at the Royal Bank, when we set out to develop a product, we ask ourselves one question: what can we do to deliver real difference to our customers? With the Royal Current Plus account, we believe we achieved just that. We took the best of a current account, an investment account, and an insurance product and merged it all together as one to offer you real difference. The Royal Current Plus account, as we fondly call it RCP, offers you many features and benefits. For one, you get a checkbook. We give you free e-banking services, free advisory services, no maintenance charges whatsoever, and the best interest rates the market has to offer. But there's one more thing. RCP offers you a 4-in-1 insurance package that gives you life cover for yourself and one family member, accidental permanent disability, retrenchment cover if you are a salaried worker, as well as hospitalization. All of these go to form the Royal Current Plus account, And we believe that we have developed a product that will serve you in many ways. Here at the Royal Bank, that's our goal. And again, we've achieved it. The Royal Bank, as always, real banking, real difference.
At the end of round 1, Wisconsin University has 15 points. UPSA 20 points. University of Education 20 points. And Ghana Telecom University 20 points. Now we move straight away to round 2. And these questions, there are a couple of answers available, so it will go round. So everybody has a chance. When it is your turn, you have 10 seconds with 2 opportunities. Okay, you have 2 chances to do that. And then we move on to the next person, also with 10 seconds, 2 opportunities until we run through it. I'll go to UPSA. What are the different types of securities that lenders normally require from their prospective clients?
Land.
I'll give that. I'll give that. It's actually both movable and immovable property, so I'll accept that. So we'll make. What else?
Financial securities.
Financial securities, I'll accept that. Yes, Winneba.
Insurance policy.
Insurance policies, I'll take that. And Ghana Technology University College.
Employer's guarantee.
I'm not convinced. I'll give you another chance.
Movable property.
I said movable and immovable properties when he answered, so you should have listened to me. Okay. So unfortunately, you could have added business assets. Okay, the business assets are allowed. Okay, let me come back again, but this time around, let me start with Ghana Technology. We're looking at financial securities as security for a loan. What are the disadvantages of using financial securities as a security? You have 10 seconds.
Default in payment.
I want to understand what you mean by default in payment. Default in payment by who?
By the customer.
I won't accept that. University of Education.
Instability of value.
Yeah, volatility in the value of the security. I'll take that for 5. Let me come to you, Wisconsin.
It might be difficult to resell them.
I'll not take that. I'll not. UPSA.
Default risks,
like what? I'll let you complete.
So default risks on the part of the one who is to pay the. So normally you draw the security on a financial institution. So default risks from that party.
I think I'll take that one. I'll take that one. Let me come back to you, Ghana Technology, if you can help me with this one. What about, we are now using business assets. Remember we said business assets might be one of the securities that you can use. What are the advantages of using business assets from the point of view of the banker? When somebody comes to you and is prepared to use his business assets as the security,
it can easily be valued.
Advantages. It can do what?
The bank can easily value the assets.
Not really. I will not take that. There are specific things that we are looking for here. University of Education, Winneba.
Business assets have high value.
They have high value, so I think the bank. Okay, thank you. What about you, Wisconsin? Any ideas?
It doesn't deteriorate. It doesn't deteriorate easily.
I will not accept that. It depends on which business asset you are using. If you go and use some business assets deteriorate very quickly. If you use your computers in your office, it might go quickly. So I will not accept that. UPSA.
Okay, so using business assets motivates the owner to pay promptly.
It motivates the customer to perform because he needs the assets to do his business. The other possible answers could have been the value may appreciate over time, and can be readily realized. Okay, so we move on. Let's do stock exchange. So let me start now with UPSA, okay? To qualify as a broker, a person must, among other things, meet 4 criteria to qualify as a broker.
So the person should have been licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
That is correct. That is correct. What about you, Wisconsin? Wisconsin, any ideas? Ten seconds.
The person must have a brokerage house in it.
No. Because we will come to the reason why. So, University of Education.
He must be in employment for at least 6 years in a brokerage firm.
No.
At least 6 months.
6 months. I'll accept that. It's 6 months. I mean, so that's the difference between what you said. It's about how long, because there's a specific requirement. He needs to be in employment with a brokerage firm for 6 months at least. So your answer didn't meet the full. Yes, Ghana Telecom.
Must enroll in the Securities and Exchange course and passed all their examinations.
Why would you want to give 2 answers instead of 1? I'll give you the 5 marks. The person needs to complete the security courses offered by the Ghana Stock Exchange. Secondly, he needs to sit for the exam and pass. Thirdly, he needs to be in employment of a brokerage company for at least 6 months and be licensed also by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Okay, so now we understand the full range of requirements. Let me take one more round and then we'll go. Let me start with you, GTUC. Apart from having to register employers and workers, mention 1 core function each of SNIT.
They process and pay the benefits to nominate to the beneficiaries.
I'll take that. I'll not let you. Process and pay benefits to eligible members and nominated dependents. Would you help us, University of Education?
They inspect the workplace of the employer and see to it that they are paying their employees' contribution.
I will not accept that. I'll come back to you and I'll explain why. Okay? Wisconsin International.
They make sure that every member pay their premium.
Every member pays their. I will not take that. UPSA.
They invest the funds they receive from the contributors.
Exactly. They invest the funds. They collect the contributions. They manage the records of the members. They invest the funds of the scheme and then process and pay benefits to eligible members and nominated dependents. These are the core things that SNIT will do to ensure that people get their pensions on time. I think with the indulgence of my consultant, I would like to end this particular round here. Thank you very much.
You are a business owner. You have an enterprise, maybe a company, watching us and asking yourself, what is this all about? Everything is personal. No, everything is not personal. The Royal Bank has you in mind. Now we thought about how we can satisfy businesses, business account holders, and we came up with the best of 3 worlds. We came up with the Royal SME Plus account. Now this offers you an insurance cover. It also offers you the best of a current account, and thirdly, this is again an investment account. You have the best of three worlds. Now, the Royal SME Plus account allows you to maintain a checkbook on your account. Therefore, you can issue checks to third parties. That's flexibility of enjoying a current account. Again, we give you insurance cover in two ways. You have a life insurance for yourself and another family member. Second is that you have an insurance cover for accidental permanent disability. Again, you earn very attractive interest rate on the Royal SME Plus account. You also can use your account at some point when you think you want to borrow from the bank to secure a loan which will help you expand your business. This is flexibility. This is convenience. This is earning interest on your current account. This is having the convenience of relaxing whilst your bank thinks about making you profit on the funds you use for your business. The Royal Bank, we always have you in mind. This is real banking, and this is real difference.
At the end of round 2, the scores are as follows. UPSA has 45 points. Wisconsin has 20 points. EUW has 40 points. And GTUC has 30 points. To round 3, and we're going straight to the stock markets and our favorite stock issues. But this time round, you are using the bell and the light. So when I give you whatever you should be, the first one to press will give you the chance to tell us which company. Okay, so let's move on straight away. And our first share is CPC. GTUC.
Cocoa Processing Company Limited.
Thank you very much for 5. Our next initial is FML.
Farm Milk Limited.
Farm Milk Limited, I'll take that. The next one, this time round, we are going on to the international stock markets, and I'll give you the share index, and then you tell me which stock market is associated with it. It is Topix, T-O-P-I-X, and who pressed?
Tokyo Stock Market.
It's the Tokyo Stock Market. Thank you. It's Tokyo. This one relates to 2 markets. So I expect you to give me both markets, the one I'm coming to. So it's 2 markets. It's the S&P 500. S&P 500. Okay, Winneba?
USA and Canada.
I'll not accept that. So we move on to Ghana Technology. You have any ideas? The Standard & Poor 500.
US and Australia.
No. UPSA? Any ideas? No ideas. Let's come to... What?
US and Australia.
No. No, both of them are in the US of A, so that's why I don't want it. It's the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. So these ones, you need to listen to the question before you press. I need to finish. What is the effect of company announcements on the shares of listed companies? Okay, we have UPSA.
Company announcements affect the performance of the shares of the listed companies.
In what way?
Investors react to the announcement. So depending on the kind of announcement, if it is positive, it leads to increase in prices of their shares.
I'll give you all the 5 marks. Now, the Ghana Stock Exchange publishes 2 indices. And I want you to give me the name of the 2 indices. Winneba.
We have the GSE Composite Index and then the GFC Financial Stock Index.
That is correct. Now listen to this. The preamble is a bit long, so wait for me to finish. Investment products typically have different maturities from short-term to long-term. So knowing your investment time horizon will help you to select the right investment. The investment time horizon is determined by the investor. What is an investor's investment time horizon? UPSC, okay?
Yeah, so the investor's time horizon, that is like your goal, the time within which you expect to start earning on your investment. So depending on your goal, you set your time horizon.
Let me go to my consultants first.
Yeah, my young man has tried, but I do not think he deserves the full marks.
Okay.
So 4/5.
4/5, okay. The investment time horizon refers to the period of time an investor is prepared to wait for his investment to mature. And I think he was quite close. So he gets 4/5 on that. Now tell me, all of you, listen to this carefully. And we are doing some practical questions here, okay? So how does a 17-year-old own shares in a company listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange?
A 17-year-old is a minor. So for a minor to own shares on the stock market or stock exchange, then the guardian should have bought it in trust of the minor.
I'll take that. Okay, let me ask this one. Institutions can also invest their pensions and provident funds on the Ghana Stock Exchange. But there is a condition. What is the condition that must be satisfied? I can see the light here from Winneba.
It should have been included in their agreement. The employee should be in agreement of their, that portion of their invested to be invested on the stock market.
Let me defer to the consultants if you're okay with it.
My daughter gets 4/5.
4/5.
The reason is that the regulations governing the use of those funds must permit such investment.
It must permit. And
so
of
you
course,
are right, except that the expression did not come out clearly.
Okay, so you get 4 marks out of 5. Thank you. Prior to 2006, investors could only invest on our market with limits and were subject to prior exchange control. There is now free and full foreign exchange remittability for the original capital plus all capital gains and related earnings for non-residents. Which act removed these limits?
The Foreign Exchange Act.
Which is what? An act. Ask for an act. Mr. Consultant, ask for an act. I want them to be a bit more specific. Foreign Exchange Act, anybody could have said that. 10 seconds. So we'll pass it on to Wisconsin. You have any idea? You have no idea. Okay, so we go to Winneba.
The Foreign Exchange Act 206.
It's the same thing. I want to, let me go to Ghana Technology University. You have any ideas?
Foreign Exchange Act of 1970.
No, it is not 1970. It's the foreign, when we are talking about acts, we need to be a bit more specific. It's the Foreign Exchange Act of 2006, of course, but it's Act 723. Okay, it's important that we don't just leave it hanging. Act 723. Listen carefully so that you'll be able to answer and give us specifics. GSE operates within a set of rules, including membership, listing, and trading. They are collectively referred to as what? I can see only one light. Winneba?
The GSE rule book.
That is correct for 5 points. It's a rule book. Let me ask, the business world is dynamic as there is always one change or the other taking place. For instance, there could be a change in the environment of a company in which you hold shares. Why is there a need to monitor your investment? So I can see only one light.
Since we are saying that the world is dynamic, there might be changes in the company that will be beneficial to the investor. So when he monitors his investment, he's able to dictate whether to take advantage of those opportunities or prevent the losses, reduce the level of losses that will be incurred.
I'll give it to her. I'll give it to her. Let me just ask you this. Maybe I will make this one the last one for this round. Expectations and share prices. Expectations about the market is a key driver of a company's share price. What about expectation has an effect on the share? Why does expectations about the market affect the shares of a particular company? Winneba?
The expectation of the share prices, when investors expect the share prices to increase, they invest more into the share, more into the company. But then when they expect the share prices to fall, they withdraw their investment.
I'm not convinced. I'll go to my left. I think there are other key issues we are looking for. You have no idea. Let me go to UPSA.
Yeah. So investing.
You are wasting time. You have. Okay, now let's go to Wisconsin. Any idea? Oh, no idea. Okay, so investors will typically buy shares of those companies that are expected to record strong growth in their earning and pay good dividends. So we're looking at for dividends, possible dividend payment, strong growth, share price in future. Okay, so all those things. That's why I wasn't tempted to award. Like I said, we'll make this the end of this particular round. Thank you.
Our contact center, which is part of the Operational Business Suite project embarked upon by the company, has become the interface between SNIT and its cherished customers. The contact center provides alternate channel for scheme members, including employers and the public, to make enquiries, lodge complaints, compliment and provide feedbacks. At the contact center, it's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better.
We deliver on our promise. SSNIT.
SNIT, we deliver on our promise.
Glyco-Critical Illness Plan, GISP. Glyco-Critical Illness Plan is a health policy which pays out a lump sum to the policyholder if he or she is diagnosed by a medical specialist doctor from a registered hospital as having a critical or dread diseases. It is a pure-term policy specially designed to provide insurance protection for the individuals and their families in the event of diagnosis of a critical illness. Critical illnesses or dread diseases are serious and life-threatening diseases such as heart attack, cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, coronary heart disease requiring surgery, cancer, coma, paralysis, kidney failure, major burns, blindness, amongst others.
At the end of the third round, the scores are as follows. Wisconsin University with 25 points. Ghana Telecom University with 35 points. UPSA with 59 points. And University of Education Winneba with 64 points. We move straight away into round 4 and it's checkmate. I'm going to give you a preamble, information that you need, and information that we want everybody watching us also to know. When a person dies without making a will, the Interstate Succession Law 1985, PNDC Law 3, will govern the distribution of his estate. Section 3 of that law stipulates that the spouse or spouses and the children are entitled absolutely to the household chattels. Section 4 provides that the children and the spouses are entitled to the house and hold it as tenants in common. According to Section 5, any residue will be distributed as follows: 3/16 to the surviving spouse or spouses, 9/16 or 9 out of 16 share to the child or children, 1/8 to the surviving parent or parents, the other 1/8 to the extended family or in accordance with customary law. So this is information that we need to know. Take note of that. So now let's listen to this. Mr. Mensah died in 2005 without making a will. He left behind a wife, 2 children, 1 adopted child, a brother, a father, a grandmother, and a grandfather. He also left behind a house valued at 150,000 Ghana cedis, 2 saloon cars, 1 commercial vehicle which he was using for his business, a television set, and a savings account of 800,000 Ghana cedis with the Royal Bank. He had also just sold a second house to Mr. Amankwa for 250,000 Ghana cedis and was expecting proceeds just before he died. My first question is, who gets the 2 cars? So I'll come to you, Ghana Technology University. Yes?
There are 2 cars, which is the household chattels, goes to the spouse and then the children.
Please, who are the spouse? I don't know who the spouse. There are people have been identified in the question. I'll give you another opportunity.
The spouse is the wife, and then the children.
Please, I just want to understand. Different categories of children have been mentioned. I want you to be specific. Once you are done, I move on.
The wife and then 1 adopted child.
Let me go on to UPSC. I'm sorry.
So the wife and the 2 children left behind, but not the adopted child.
Oh, no, I've said that. Okay. Wisconsin?
The wife and the 2 children.
No. Winneba?
The wife, the 2 children, and the 1 adopted child.
That is correct. Why is the adopted child not included? UPSC, is there a reason why the adopted child is not a child? Or because it is qualified? The adopted child is a child. So that is the difference that we were looking, okay? The adopted child is also entitled to it. He's a child, okay? By the way, next one. Who gets the commercial vehicle? Which of the family members will get a commercial vehicle? Okay, so I can see Ghana Technology University.
The wife, the 2 children, and 1 adopted child.
No, you have another opportunity. Let me come to you, UPSA.
So the commercial vehicle will still be for the limited liability business he left behind.
So who gets the cars? Which of the family? No, which of the family members?
That should go for the children.
No. Wisconsin International, you have any idea?
The surviving parents.
Who?
The parents.
The parents, no. And finally, Winneba?
It goes to the wife and the brother.
No. None of the family members. So like I said, none of the family members listed. It goes to the shareholders of the business. Okay? That's the correct answer. Now, what is the value of the share of each of the 2 children in the unsold house? Okay, so let me come to you, Ghana Technology.
84,375 Ghana cedis.
No. Another opportunity. The unsold house. Your 10 seconds are up. UPSA. What is the value of the share of each of the 2 children in the unsold house?
42,187,000.
No, I'll not take that. So let me come to you, Wisconsin. You have any idea?
168,750.
No. Winneba?
28,125.
No. Now let's quickly do this. The value is what? 150,000, isn't it? Now the wife, the 2 children, and the adopted child hold it as tenants in common. So how many people own the house? 4. So the value, each one has what? 1/4 of the value. And 1/4 of 150,000 is what? 37,500. Let's move on to the next one. You remember that he had just sold a property, isn't it? Yeah. And it has a value. List all those who will benefit from the proceeds from this sold property. UPSA?
So the spouse or the wife, the children, that is the 3 children, and the parents, and I'm not seeing this.
I will not accept that. Let me come to you. Wisconsin, do you have any idea?
The wife, the children, and the parents.
No. Winneba?
It goes to the wife, the 2 children, the adopted child, the brother, the father, and the grandmother and the grandfather.
That is correct. That is correct. How much of the money in the savings account will go to the adopted child? Yes, Winneba?
150,000 Ghana cedis.
150,000 cedis is correct. Thank you. What about the brother? How much of the money in the savings account will go to the brother?
100,000.
That is not correct. Second chance. Let me go to Wisconsin. So now you see.
33,300 and...
That is correct. 33,333. That is correct. The total amount is 800,000. The extended family, which includes the brother, are entitled to 1/8 of that money. And meanwhile, there are 3 of them, isn't it? The extended family, the grandfather, the grandmother, and the brother. And so they will share it. How much of the money in the savings account will go to the father? Let me give the opportunity to Winneba. 10 seconds. Once you press
50,000.
The father? No, you have one other opportunity.
25,000.
No. I'll go to Ghana Technology.
100,000.
It's 100,000. That's correct. It's 100,000. What about the wife? The missus herself. Okay.
150,000 Ghana cedis.
150,000 Ghana cedis is correct. Because the wife is entitled to 3/16 of it, of 800,000. And that gives us 150,000. And that brings us to the end of round 4.
There's a place in my heart that makes me feel that you're the one. It's a place I wanna be, 'cause satisfaction guaranteed. From strength to strength you help me grow, 'cause you're there for me. And teach me how to be independent, 'cause you care for me. It's you.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
Banking with transparency, commitment to integrity.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. Real banking, real difference.
To participate in the Ghana Stock Exchange activities as an investor, one must know the following: have a stockbroker who is licensed by the stock exchange and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). That you are entitled to dividend at the end of the financial year when profits are realized. Dividends are calculated as interest on your investment, or you are entitled to capital gain if you decide to sell your investment in a particular company listed on the stock exchange. Capital gain is the difference between the price. Capital gain is the difference between the price at which a security is sold and the price at which the security was purchased. Be aware that your broker should be in the position to advise you on the best investment options available. Log on to www.gse.com.gh for more information.
At the end of the fourth round, the results are as follows. Wisconsin International had 30 points. GTUC had 45 points. UPSA had 59 points. And the University of Education, Winneba, had 79 points. And so, on the basis of this, I have the singular pleasure of pronouncing that University of Education, Winneba, and University of Professional Studies, Accra, have qualified for the semi-finals. So, congratulations, UPSA. These were your contestants for quarterfinal 4, and we have 2 qualifiers, UPSA and University of Education, Winneba. Let's give it up.
Hi, I'm Mark Kofi Anane, Wisconsin University. I'm very grateful for a successful competition, and although we didn't make it to the next level, but we hope for a better chance next time. We're very happy because we've learned a lot. It's not only about the competition, but it's about what we are pursuing and about what we're going to face in the future. So we've learned a lot.
My name is Egwabai from Sylvia. I hope the best school wins, and I'm grateful to God that for making it possible for us to be part of this competition. It's a very great one.
I'm Sebastian Anam.
Helena Ando from UPSA.
Yes. So we are just coming out second from our group. The competition is quite intense. Like, I like the fact that you really cannot predict the line of questioning or the style they are using. They change it at will. So I think it's a nice experience, and we are going to put in more.
My name is Samuel Anampansa, University of Education. I give glory to God for granting us this victory.
My name is Ausinyala Atiku, and it's been a great experience so far. It's been very competitive though, especially for our group. But we thank God for bringing us this far.
I think it's about the lambando of grace. It's not about it's about the grace of God. And we are hoping by the grace we'll sail through to the finals. And watch out, we are coming with an excellent spirit.
So for semi-final 1, we have Zenith, UG, Lancaster, and KNUST. So semi-final 2 is UPSA, Winneba, Gimpa, and Methodist University. Thank you very much. That's the draw for the semi-finals.